700D. This is the 700D, it's a semi-professional camera. You've got your SD card in there, which should already be in there. So when you book one out, it should be already in there, as you can see. To switch the camera on, there's a little on button. So if you just turn this around, there's a little on button just there. All you do is just flick this to the on, and it should come on. So when it comes on, your little LCD screen should come up like so. So if you can just see that, that's your LCD screen. And what we're going to be looking at is a couple of features: ISO, aperture and shutter. So I'm going to start off with aperture. So your aperture is up here, so these little dials here will give you aperture, shutter, your manual mode, your burst mode, etc. So the one we're going to take our little dial to is going to be AV. Okay, so you put it on AV, and when you put it on AV, on your panel behind, as you can see, you can change certain things around. So if you click on your little F number there, you can see that. Okay, so I'm just trying to get this in focus for you. So that little F number there, there's a little wheelie thing at the top over here. So if you sort of move your fingers up and down, your f-stop should change. If you can just about see, I'm just trying to get in focus for you guys, so you can see your F numbers will change. So the smaller the F number, the larger the opening. What that basically means is there's more light coming through into the camera. So the bigger the F number, the less light comes through, and the less exposure your sensor will attain. So say for example you're taking pictures in really sunny environments, you probably put your F number down to a bigger number, so you get less light come through. If it's in a seriously really low, sort of, maybe a sort of dark day and you want a bit more exposure, you put your number up to a smaller number so there's more light goes through. Okay, so if I was to quickly show you that again, if I just get that in focus, this little number here, and if I move my cursor around, the numbers will change to depend on what it is. If I click on this little tab here, so if I click on that, I can get a viewpoint. So if you can see that there, so, and I can also manually change it with the touch screen on my LCD display screen. So I can just hover it in and out like this, and it will change my aperture up and down. Okay, press that little button back there, it will take you back to my LCD screen, and I'm going to this time take it to manual mode. So I'm going to switch to M, which is manual mode, and there'll be a big M sign that pops up on your screen. And this time I'm going to change the ISO. So again, I'm going to click on this little tab here. So I'm just going to click on that little tab there. It'll take you back to my LCD screen, and here I'm just going to touch the ISO, and I'm going to watch what happens to my screen. So I'm going to, it's a bit out of focus, there we go, it's almost in focus for you. There we go. So if I just now add less ISO in this environment, so I've taken it down to 100, you can see my screen's gone dark. If I increase it, you can see that there's more exposure within that image. Okay, so your ISO is basically sensitivity to light. So your camera is kind of like being sensitive to light content within a particular environment such as this. Okay, so that's that. The next thing I'm going to show you is shutter speed, and you can do some really cool stuff with that as well. So I'm just going to take my aperture to about 800, so you can see the screen. I'm going to click on my shutter speed, which is that little tab there. So if I just rephrase that, if I click back again, I'll just quickly show you. I'm just going to go back to menu, back to this little tab here. I'm going to click on this little button here, click on that, and I'm going to hover in and out. And what happens is, if I increase and decrease my shutter speed, you can see that has an impact on the sensitivity to light as well. So if I put it to say 15, press set, that sets it. And if I take a picture, it takes that picture. There you go. So, and if I go back to my menu, click on the little 15, decrease my shutter speed. Now watch what happens now. So I'm going to take it down to about -2 seconds. Set it again, and this I'm going to take a picture, and you can see there's a little delay. And now what you'll get is overexposure. Now I can play around with this. I can click on my little tab there again, click on this little tab, increase the speed of it to maybe -1 second, select that. Okay, now when I take the picture, there's a bit of delay, and again it's overexposed, but there's some kind of cool effects there. I'm going to take this down a little bit more, so I'm going to click on that again and take it down to 0.5 seconds, set that again, and let's just try that again. So I'm going to take a picture again, and what you'll get is a bit of motion blur, if you can see that. Okay, so if I just click on that, you can see there's a little bit of motion blur within that image. Okay, so 3 features I've just shown you, which is your aperture, shutter, and your ISO. We're going to have a little demonstration of these in the seminar. So I've got a couple of cameras that you can play around with. So we're going to have a little play with the aperture, shutter, ISO, and maybe film a few sequences just to get you a bit more sort of knowledge in regards to how to use these particular models. Thank you for watching.